The Adegboy family gathers in the grand living room of the family mansion, a space filled with the rich history of their lineage. The walls are adorned with ancestral portraits, and the room is furnished with intricately carved wooden chairs and a large table that has hosted many family meetings. The air is thick with tension as the lawyer, a stern-looking man with graying hair, prepares to read Chief Adikano's will. The siblings sit in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. Bamadil, the eldest, tries to maintain a stoic expression, but the weight of responsibility is evident in his eyes. Funmi, the ambitious second-born, taps her foot nervously, her mind racing with possibilities. Sod, the youngest, sits slightly apart from the others, her face a mask of indifference that hides her true feelings. As the lawyer begins to read, the room grows even more silent. The will reveals unexpected decisions, with Bamadil receiving the majority of the estate and the responsibility of maintaining the family legacy. Funmi is left with a significant, but smaller, portion, while Soda's inheritance seems almost like an afterthought. The siblings exchange glances, each processing the implications of their father's final wishes. Later at night, while the mansion is shrouded in darkness, Sod wanders through its many corridors, her mind still reeling from the will reading. She finds herself drawn to a part of the house she rarely visits, the old study, a room that her father kept locked and off-limits during his lifetime. The door, however, is slightly ajar. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she steps inside. The study is a time capsule of her father's life, filled with shelves of old books, documents, and various artifacts. As she explores the room, she notices a faint draft coming from behind a large, ornate bookshelf. With some effort, she pushes it aside, revealing a hidden door. Inside, she discovers a small, dimly lit chamber. The walls are lined with old ledgers, photographs, and letters. In the center of the room is a desk covered with documents that seem to detail business dealings, secret transactions, and personal correspondence. Sod realizes that she has stumbled upon her father's most private and possibly incriminating secrets. Funmi, driven by her ambition and dissatisfaction with her portion of the inheritance, begins to devise a plan to take control of the family's wealth. She visits a high-rise office building in the city, where she meets with Alhaji Musa, a powerful and influential businessman with whom she has a complicated history. The meeting takes place in Musa's luxurious office, which offers a panoramic view of the city below. Funmi, dressed in a sleek, tailored suit, presents her case, highlighting her plans to expand the family's business empire. Musa listens with interest, his expression unreadable, but his eyes betray a hint of something more, a mixture of admiration and calculation. As the meeting progresses, it becomes clear that Musa has his own agenda. He agrees to support Funmi, but his terms are steep, involving a partnership that would give him significant control over the family's assets. Funmi hesitates but ultimately agrees, believing that she can outmaneuver him later. The partnership is sealed with a handshake, but the tension in the room suggests that this is just the beginning of a dangerous game. Sod, having discovered her father's secrets, begins to carefully execute her plan to destabilize her siblings. She visits each of them separately, planting seeds of doubt and suspicion. With Bamadil, she subtly questions Funmi's loyalty, hinting at her secret dealings with Alhaji Musa. To Funmi, she insinuates that Bamadil is planning to cut her out of the family business altogether. The mansion, once a place of family gatherings and celebrations, becomes a battlefield of whispered conversations and suspicious glances. The siblings, already on edge, begin to turn against one another, each convinced that the others are plotting against them. Sod watches from the shadows, satisfied with the chaos she has created. Bamadil, increasingly suspicious of his siblings and burdened by his new responsibilities, decides to investigate the mansion further. Late one night, he returns to the hidden room Sod discovered, determined to uncover whatever secrets his father might have hidden. As he sifts through the documents, he comes across a letter written by Chief Adikano many years ago. The letter reveals a secret relationship his father had with a woman from a neighboring village, a relationship that resulted in the birth of a child. The letter expresses regret and fear that the truth would destroy the family. The revelation shakes Bamadil to his core. He realizes that the child mentioned in the letter could be one of his siblings, or worse, a rival claimant to the family fortune. The weight of this discovery is almost too much to bear, and he slumps into a chair, the letter crumpled in his hands as he contemplates the implications. Amidst the growing turmoil within the family, a mysterious stranger arrives in the village. He is a tall, imposing figure, dressed in a long, dark robe that billows in the wind as he walks down the dusty road towards the mansion. His arrival does not go unnoticed. Villagers watch him from their doorways, whispering among themselves about his possible intentions. The stranger exudes an air of authority and mystery, and it is clear that he is not someone to be taken lightly. As he approaches the mansion, the atmosphere grows tense, with the servants exchanging nervous glances. The Adegboy family, already on edge, is about to face another challenge, one that could unravel everything they thought they knew about their father and themselves. The Adegboy family is forced to come together for a final confrontation. They gather in the mansion's grand dining room, a space that once hosted joyous family dinners but now feels like a battleground. The room is richly decorated, with a long, polished table at its center, surrounded by high-backed chairs. The air in the grand dining room is thick with tension as the Adegboy siblings take their seats. The table, usually adorned with elaborate meals and decorations, is now bare, reflecting the somber mood. Bamadil, Funmi, and Sod sit at opposite ends, each trying to gauge the other's intentions. The mysterious stranger stands silently in the corner, his presence unnerving but strangely compelling. The stranger finally speaks, his deep voice resonating through the room. He reveals that he is the executor of a final set of instructions left by Chief Adikana, and his task is to ensure the truth is unveiled. With a wave of his hand, the stranger presents a box containing documents, photographs, and personal letters that had been hidden away for decades. As the contents of the box are revealed, the siblings are confronted with their father's darkest secrets, his illicit affairs, questionable business dealings, and hidden alliances. The realization that their father was not the man they thought he was shakes them to their core. The room erupts into chaos, with accusations flying and emotions running high. Bamadil tries to maintain control, urging his siblings to focus on the future rather than the past. However, the revelation has pushed Funmi and Sod to the brink, and they are no longer willing to play by the rules. The confrontation intensifies as old grievances resurface, and the family teeters on the edge of complete collapse. As the argument reaches its peak, the mysterious stranger reveals the final, most shocking secret: there is another heir to the Adegboy fortune. A child born out of Chief Adikana's affair with a woman from a neighboring village. This child, now an adult, has a legitimate claim to the inheritance. The siblings are stunned into silence. The possibility of another heir threatens to destroy everything they've fought for. The stranger hands over a letter written by Chief Adikana, in which he confesses his mistakes and pleads for his children to accept their unknown sibling into the family. The room falls into a heavy silence as the siblings absorb the news. Bamadil, torn between his sense of duty and his desire to protect his family's legacy, finally speaks up. He suggests they meet this newfound sibling before making any decisions. Funmi and Sod, though skeptical, reluctantly agree. The stranger nods, indicating that the time for the final judgment is near. A few days later, the Adegboy family prepares to meet the unknown heir. The mansion, usually a symbol of their power and prestige, feels different today, quieter, almost as if it's holding its breath in anticipation. The siblings gather in the foyer, each lost in their thoughts, trying to prepare for the encounter that could change their lives forever. The sound of a car approaching breaks the silence. The siblings exchange nervous glances as the front door opens. A young man, dressed simply but with an air of quiet confidence, steps inside. He is introduced as Olumide, the child born of Chief Adikanal's secret relationship. Olumide's presence is disarming. He is neither resentful nor demanding, but rather humble and respectful. He speaks softly, explaining that he only recently learned about his true parentage and has no intention of causing strife. However, the siblings remain guarded, unsure whether to trust him or view him as a threat. As the initial awkwardness fades, Olumide shares stories of his upbringing, painting a picture of a life far removed from the luxury and privilege of the Adegboy family. His sincerity begins to break down the siblings' defenses, and they find themselves torn between accepting him as one of their own and protecting their inheritance. After days of tense discussions and soul-searching, the Adegboy family comes together to make their final decision. They gather in the mansion's sitting room, a more intimate space than the grand dining room, but still filled with the weight of history. The siblings, now visibly exhausted by the emotional toll of the past few weeks, face Olumide one last time. Bamadil, taking the lead as the eldest, speaks first. He acknowledges the mistakes of the past and the pain they've all endured, but emphasizes the importance of moving forward as a united family. Funmi, after a long pause, reluctantly agrees, admitting that their father's legacy should not be further tainted by division. Sod, who has remained the most aloof throughout, surprises everyone by expressing her willingness to accept Olumide, albeit with caution. Olumide, deeply moved by their words, expresses his gratitude and reassures them that he has no intention of claiming more than what is fair. The atmosphere in the room shifts from one of confrontation to tentative acceptance. The siblings, though still wary, begin to see Olumide not as an outsider, but as a new member of their family. The decision is made: Olumide will receive a portion of the inheritance, and the family will work together to ensure that their father's legacy is preserved. As the tension finally eases, the siblings share a rare moment of unity, each silently vowing to honor their father's final wishes. With the decision made, the Adegboy family begins to rebuild their relationships and their legacy. The mansion, once a symbol of wealth and power, now becomes a place of healing and new beginnings. The siblings, along with Olumide, start to work together to manage the family's business and properties, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. The atmosphere in the mansion gradually shifts from one of tension to one of collaboration. Laughter begins to echo through the halls once more, and the siblings find themselves growing closer as they navigate the challenges of their new reality. Olumide, though still adjusting to his new life, proves to be a valuable asset, earning the respect and trust of his siblings. The village, too, begins to see the family in a new light. Once known for their wealth and influence, the Adegboy family now gains a reputation for unity and integrity. The siblings, having learned from their father's mistakes, make a conscious effort to give back to the community, establishing scholarships and funding local projects. The story of the Adegboy family becomes one of redemption and renewal. As they stand together at the entrance of their mansion, looking out over the vast lands they now manage together, they realize that their true inheritance is not the wealth they were fighting over, but the bond they've forged through adversity. The lush and green landscape that surrounds the Adegboy mansion mirrors the renewed spirit of the family. As they stand together at the entrance, the once imposing structure now seems more like a sanctuary, a place where they can start anew. The siblings exchange glances, their expressions softened by the realization that they have survived the trials that threatened to tear them apart. As the days turn into weeks, the family begins to implement the plans they discussed. Bamadil takes charge of the family business, ensuring that the company's operations run smoothly while also making efforts to modernize and expand. Funmi, with her sharp business acumen, plays a key role in developing new ventures, bringing fresh ideas that breathe life into the family's legacy. Sod, who had once been the most detached, finds her place in the family by managing charitable initiatives, helping to uplift the community and honor their father's memory. Olumide, the once unknown heir, becomes an integral part of the family. His insights, shaped by a life outside the family's wealth and privilege, provide a valuable perspective. He works closely with his siblings, helping to bridge the gap between tradition and progress. Despite the challenges he faces in adjusting to his new life, his humility and dedication endear him to both his family and the village. The village, which had watched the family's internal struggles with a mix of curiosity and concern, now sees the Adegboy siblings as a symbol of resilience and unity. The family's efforts to give back to the community are met with gratitude and admiration. The scholarships they establish provide opportunities for young people to pursue education, while the local projects they fund improve the quality of life for everyone. As the Adegboy family gathers for a celebration at the mansion, a celebration not of wealth, but of family, they are surrounded by friends, neighbors, and villagers. The once divided siblings now laugh and share stories, their bond stronger than ever. The mansion, filled with music and the sound of joyous voices, is transformed into a true home. The journey that began with a bitter inheritance ends with a newfound understanding of what it truly means to be a family. The Adegboy siblings, now united with Olumide, stand together as the guardians of their father's legacy, ready to face the future with hope and determination. Years have passed since the tumultuous events that reshaped the Adegboy family. The siblings, now older and wiser, have successfully rebuilt their father's legacy into something even more profound. The family business has flourished under their stewardship, and their philanthropic efforts have left a lasting impact on the village and beyond. The time has come for the next generation to take the reins. Bamadil, Funmi, Sod, and Olumide gather in the mansion's library, a room filled with books, artifacts, and memories. They are joined by their children, who have grown up in a world where the lessons of the past are a guiding light for the future. Bamadil, with a sense of pride and fulfillment, addresses the younger generation. He speaks of the challenges they faced, the mistakes they made, and the importance of family unity. He hands over a beautifully bound book, a record of the family's history, filled with stories of both triumphs and trials. The book is a symbol of the legacy they have preserved and the responsibility they now pass on. The children, eager and full of potential, accept the book with reverence. They understand the significance of what they are being entrusted with. The torch is passed, not just in terms of wealth and business, but in the values that have been forged through hardship and reconciliation. The scene ends with the younger generation standing in front of the mansion, looking out over the land that their ancestors once fought over. But unlike the past, there is no conflict in their hearts, only a shared commitment to honor the family's name and continue its legacy of unity, integrity, and generosity. Many years later, the story of the Adegboy family becomes part of the village's rich oral tradition. Around a large bonfire, the elders gather the younger generation, recounting the tale of how a family nearly destroyed by greed and secrets found redemption through unity and forgiveness. The storyteller, an elderly woman with a voice full of wisdom and experience, captivates her audience with vivid descriptions and emotional depth. She speaks of the challenges the family faced, the secrets that were uncovered, and the eventual reconciliation that brought them back together. As she speaks, the fire crackles and the night sky fills with stars, creating an enchanting atmosphere. The children listen intently, their eyes wide with wonder. The story, though rooted in the past, carries timeless lessons about the importance of family, integrity, and the strength that comes from facing one's demons. As the tale concludes, the storyteller emphasizes that the legacy of the Adegboy family lives on not just in their descendants, but in the values they upheld and the impact they made on the community. The epilogue ends with the storyteller's voice fading into the night, leaving the younger generation inspired and eager to learn more about their own families and the stories that have shaped their identities. The bonfire burns brightly, symbolizing the enduring power of storytelling and the connection between the past and the future. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this story. Please kindly like the video, comment your thoughts, and please subscribe for more enchanting tales. Thank you.